If you're in the business world, you have absolutely seen the demos, you've heard all the hype around generative AI. But there's a nagging feeling, isn't there? A sense that for all the money being thrown around, big companies are hitting this invisible wall. They're stuck with helpful assistance when they were promised fully autonomous agents. Today, we're going to break down exactly why they're hitting that ceiling.
And, AI strategist Dr. Anya Sharma just frames the problem perfectly with this quote. It captures this fundamental clash. You've got this revolutionary, fast-moving AI being poured into these rigid, ancient corporate structures. And the result? Well, it's kind of messy.
And this slide right here, this shows the gap everyone is feeling. The big promise was true autonomy, creating entirely new ways of doing business. But the reality for most companies? It's been helpful copilots that give us these little productivity boosts. And don't get me wrong, that's useful, for sure, but it is not the revolution we were all sold.
So, this stagnation, it leads us right into our first major point. Companies are finding themselves moving from those exciting early productivity wins into a place where many are now just stuck. A place we're calling pilot purgatory.
I love this term from our source material. Pilot purgatory. It's that state of having, dozens of little AI experiments bubbling away, a marketing copilot over here, a code assistant over there, but none of them ever really graduate to a large-scale business-transforming deployment. Companies are hitting what you could call the copilot ceiling. The AI is an assistant, it's not an actor.
And look, the hard data absolutely backs this up. While a whopping 90% of leaders say they're tracking Gen AI, a tiny, and I mean tiny, 6% have actually trained a significant part of their workforce on it. This isn't just a gut feeling. It's a measurable, massive gap between interest and real on-the-ground adoption.
And a huge reason for this plateau comes right down to the business case. I mean, getting a budget for a simple copilot, that was a pretty easy sell. You could promise cost reduction, saving employee hours. But the business case for true agentic AI, well, that's all about value creation, inventing totally new services, capturing new markets. And that is a much bigger, much scarier strategic bet to make.
So what is really causing this stagnation? What's the holdup? We've identified 5 core failures that are preventing enterprises from breaking through that AI ceiling. So let's put on our doctor hats and diagnose them.
All right, here's our roadmap for the next few minutes. We're going to walk through each of these failure points one by one. The ancient tech, the fear of making mistakes, the resistant company culture, the messy data, and of course, the broken budget models.
So first up, there's the tech debt. Most big companies, they run on these massive 30-year-old systems like SAP and Oracle. I mean, they're the absolute backbone of the business, but they are incredibly brittle. They were never, ever designed for a nimble AI agent to have a flexible, real-time conversation with them.
This quote from the source just nails it. It's perfect. You can have the most advanced AI engine in the world, a Ferrari, but if you force it to operate on the technical equivalent of a muddy, potholed road, well, it's not going to get very far, very fast. That technical debt is just astronomical.
The second failure is all about risk. We've all heard about AI hallucinations, right? Where a chatbot just makes something up. Okay, that's an inconvenience. But when you scale that risk up to an autonomous agent, that fear becomes absolutely paralyzing for the legal and compliance departments.
So here's the crucial point. It's the difference in the stakes. A chatbot giving a bad answer is a customer service ticket. An autonomous agent making a single wrong procurement decision? That could cost a company millions, maybe even billions of dollars. The fear of that one catastrophic failure is often enough to stop the attempt from ever being made in the first place.
The third failure? It's cultural. Large organizations are built on these command and control hierarchies. Agentic AI requires delegating real authority to a system, and that directly threatens a culture of micromanagement, especially for middle managers who are terrified of being automated out of a job.
And getting past this requires a profound shift in mindset, a move towards what our source calls an AI-native culture. It's shifting from a world where your value is measured by doing the work to a new world where your value comes from directing and orchestrating the AI agents that do the work for you. That is a massive, massive cultural leap.
All right, failure number 4. This is all about the fuel for any AI, the data. And in most big companies, let's be honest, the data is a mess. It's locked away in different silos, it's inconsistent from one department to the next, and it's poorly labeled. You simply cannot build an intelligent, coherent agent on top of an incoherent data foundation.
I mean, this is the ultimate garbage in, garbage out problem, but it's supercharged for autonomous systems. If an agent can't get a clear, consistent picture of what's actually happening in the business from its data, how can we possibly expect it to make smart, autonomous decisions? We can't. And the final failure point is, well, you guessed it, it's all about the money. Agentic AI projects are cross-functional by their very nature. They touch IT, finance, operations, you name it. But company budgets? They're usually organized in these strict, vertical silos. So, who pays for it? The return on investment isn't clear to any single department head, so the project never gets the funding it needs to even get off the ground. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. It's a challenging picture, I get it. But now, let's shift from the problems to the prescription. What do enterprises actually need to build a true agentic AI future? Let's take a look at the ultimate wish list.
A really key concept here is orchestration. So instead of one giant monolithic AI trying to do everything, the ideal solution acts more like a project manager for a whole team of specialized agents. You'd have one agent whose job is to coordinate, another to go out and research and analyze, and a third to actually go and do things in your business systems, all working together seamlessly.
And this brings us to a crucial evolution in the human's role in all of this. A proper enterprise system needs a structured human in the loop, but not as a micromanager doing the work. No, the human is elevated. You become a strategic reviewer and director, making the final call on the key decisions that are presented to you by your AI team.
So this all brings us to the complete enterprise wish list. To succeed, you need robust governance with crystal clear audit trails, not black boxes. You need seamless integration with those legacy systems, not clunky workarounds. You have to be able to orchestrate teams of AI agents, provide structured human oversight, and allow for deep customization so the AI can become an expert in your specific business.
Okay, we have covered the problem, the diagnosis, and the prescription. Now it's time for action. What is the single most important first step that you can actually take?
Before we get to that action step, it is so critical to understand the stakes, and Dr. Sharma says it perfectly here. The prize for solving this isn't just a 10% efficiency gain. It's about creating a fundamental, insurmountable competitive advantage by doing things your rivals simply cannot do. So, here it is. Here is your first step, and it is a crucial one. Don't start with the technology. Start with the process. Get your team together in a room and identify one core, data-rich business process that is currently a major bottleneck. Map it out, end to end. That map isn't just a diagram, it is your blueprint for building an autonomous future. The only question left is, which part of your business are you going to revolutionize first?